All right, so the term laboring down is often thrown around by midwives, doulas, some OBs. What does it mean? Okay, so the practice of laboring down consists of holding off on pushing really for as long as you can. So a lot of, or not a lot of times, all the time, any care provider, they will not have you start pushing until your cervix is fully dilated at 10 centimeters. And then a lot of times, pretty soon after you're fully dilated, they'll say, okay, you can go ahead and start pushing whenever you're ready. And some women are genuinely ready to start pushing soon after they're dilated. They feel like, oh wow, my body is like pushing even without me doing anything. So yeah, I'm gonna like work with that. But for other women, they start pushing because they're told that they can start pushing. And of course, they wanna have their baby. So it's like, great, yeah, I'll start pushing. But for a lot of women, our bodies and our minds really aren't necessarily ready to start pushing right away. And sometimes if we start pushing before we're ready, we can really tire ourselves out. We can tire out our baby. We can even cause a little bit of swelling, around the perineum with all of that pushing. I speak from experience because right after it was announced that I was fully dilated, again, the nurse said, great, you can start pushing whenever you want. I'm like, I'm ready. I want to get the baby out. Let's do it. And I then commenced to push for 3 hours, and it was like really heavy duty pushing. And I was so tired, and I got my son out eventually, but I was exhausted and I exerted so much effort that I spiked a fever. And not surprisingly, I had never heard of the term laboring down until about a year after I had my son. So if I had labored down, what I would have done is after they told me that I was 10 centimeters, I would have said, okay, great. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, which really just consisted of sitting there with my eyes closed and breathing through surges. No pushing, not really doing much, but just moving through each surge, breathing through each surge. And this allows your body to organically continue to push baby down a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, because each contraction, or what I've been calling a surge, gets baby a little bit closer to emergence. So you don't even have to push to get the baby out. Women in comas have given birth vaginally because their uterus pushes the baby out for them. So again, I would have just sat there, I would have breathed. And then when it felt like I had this uncontrollable urge to push, like again, my body was just pushing the baby out without me even doing anything, then I would work with my body. Then I would do some pushing or breathe the baby down, a technique that I cover on this channel. I think in a video called like the alternative to pushing. And so if you do this, if you labor down, if you wait to start pushing or breathing down until it feels like it's just happening with or without you, you're conserving a lot of energy. You are making sure that baby gets plenty of oxygen for a longer period of time, because when we're doing that heavy duty pushing, when we're pushing like this, a lot of times baby's heart rate drops a bit because they're not getting as much oxygen. And then when you breathe again, usually their heart rate comes back up because they're getting oxygen again. So you don't put baby through as much of that when you're laboring down, because when you're laboring down, again, you're just breathing normally. So it's something that I recommend considering. I mean, you certainly don't have to do it, but talk to your doctor or your midwife about it. See if, they've heard of that term, see how they feel about it. And really, if it's something that really resonates with you, and after you're fully dilated, if there's no rush to get the baby out, if you and the baby are healthy, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be able to practice laboring down, at least for a while. And after an hour or so, you might say, okay, even though I don't feel this uncontrollable urge to push, I think I'm ready and I'm going to go for it. Obviously, that's fine. You get to do what you feel is right during your birth experience, but I just wanted you to know what what laboring down was and how it could potentially be beneficial for you. All right, let me know if you have any questions about this or anything else about pregnancy, childbirth, early motherhood in the comments below.